This is all a nightmare, especially with Jasmine. I feel like as soon as I had to turn myself in, Jasmine should have been there. You are her mother, her inspiration, her biggest supporter, her everything. That is not an easy thing to see your mother going into jail. She didn't know what he was going to do, going to come back out.
What the hell is this in the hellfire soap drama of hip-hop and love? Because when I say that season 13 came to gather souls, I mean it, sweetheart. Not edges, not souls, not plots. And at the center of this repulsive carnival right now are two women. Karlie Redd and Yandy Smith-Harris are being dragged through the streets of fame from reality TV. Really? Who needs a judge when you've already been judged by the blogs? Let's start by discussing Karlie, who apparently thought that legal matters were merely a plot device. Sis walked into a correctional facility as if it were a spa retreat, but with many more shackles and no cucumber water. But guess who didn't offer any emotional support? Her own daughter, Jasmine, an abandonment table to start. However, Yandy remained silent until the internet started playing 2023 audio recordings. As though it were an FBI throwback Thursday, Mendy observes that her man has stopped talking. While trying to patch up her marriage and her wig, Yandy is publicly humiliated, and the blogs are a mess. So, did it really happen? Who is lying? What is the individual hiding? Get your seatbelt, your meal, and your receipts, because this is going to be insane. Cue dramatic music. Dim the lights and observe the mayhem. You should think twice if you thought love and hip-hop. Atlanta will take a break this season, again, since season 13 of the Scandal Express recently aired. The train has been traveling at full speed without any stops, and the conductor has been visibly intoxicated. Let's start with the queen of lip gloss and lawsuits, Karlie Redd. For Karlie, drama is nothing new. Because of this woman, crying on cue has been made an Olympic sport. This time, though, she's not acting. This actual courtroom. Catastrophe is messier than a VH1 reunion in the middle of a downpour. Doso. That's what happened. Karlie was compelled to turn herself in to the authorities. You heard right? This wasn't a random blog rumor or Instagram outburst. It was a complete legal nightmare. The whole 9 yards, mug photographs, documents, and handcuffs. And when she showed up at the courthouse like it was the Met Gala in hell, guess who was noticeably absent? Her own daughter, Jasmine. Let's talk about that for a moment. Karlie said flaw, yes, but also a mother who claims to have given her all to her daughter asked for one thing: support. She wanted Jasmine to be there when she turned herself in to hold her hand. Maybe even give her a tissue before the tears hit, but instead, crickets. And she was devastated. Karlie stated that it was very hurtful to not have Jasmine there because you are her mother, her inspiration, and everything. And guess who's dealing with turmoil in the background while Karlie is over here reliving her life's blunders like a highlight reel on VH1. Yandy Smith-Harris, you're correct. And I mean it when I say that she hasn't been able to find any serenity on the internet. Do you know how some individuals have a smoothie after waking up? Blogs are dragging Yandy's name like a stolen purse when she wakes up. And it's archived proof this time. Not just shade. Yes, some enigmatic voice recordings from 2023, such as August's Halloween, have come back from the digital grave. What are the tapes about? Mendy apparently saw some of Yandy's remarks about her spouse that were never intended for public consumption. Imagine all the juicy mess you would expect a loving wife to never want on the internet: accusations, outbursts, emotional confessions, etc. Worst of all, Mendy believes it amounts to doing nothing at all, which is what males do best in a scandal. Print it, please. There are no silent radios, no passive-aggressive Instagram stories. And Yandy is crying on camera while he's acting like he's just discovered meditation. And Yandy isn't having any of it, she said. Put it on a t-shirt. It's Karlie, who may be indicted and feels abandoned by her child. Yandy, who is humiliated in public. and a silent husband who sits in the same room as a lawyer named Steve with no peace of mind between them are all examples of women who have been pushed to their limits. And let's not forget about Steve. Bless his heart. This poor man probably thought he was just helping someone with paperwork. But now he's the therapist, legal advisor, and emotional punching bag for two of Atlanta's most emotional women. Nervous. It hurt more than a breakup soundtrack, but Steve didn't hold back, saying plainly, "Look, the prosecution will charge you if they so choose. Maybe in a week. Maybe in 5 years." And Karlie, phew, her eyes seemed to be about to pop out of her skull. That woman seemed to be about to blow out. She quietly exits the room before letting it all out and telling Yandy that Jasmine won't be attending. "You need a retreat," Yandy says, because, let's face it, both of them are one trigger away from losing it. Yandy, who has already become emotionally vulnerable, tries to console her while choking back her own tears, claiming that she feels betrayed and alone, and that the entire situation feels like a nightmare. "We just had one girl," Yandy says, letting down her defenses. "This isn't a holiday. This is CPR for the soul. Aromatherapy is not necessary for you. If you require an exorcism," Karlie responds with a clap. She and Mendy see that they have already dealt with it and moved on, but now that it's back in the public eye, it's ruining all they've worked so hard to restore. She continues, adding that they were supposed to stay quiet beginning in 2023. "The house is dilapidated. The weather is terrible. It's really terrible. He won't say a thing and won't even publicly defend me, even though we desire consolation." Double quotations. Ah. The agony in her voice was audible. Then she utters a painful statement. Cue piano. Music that is dramatic and slow. The lights are back on. Let's examine the pandemonium in more detail. Since this isn't just a reality TV mess, we're left wondering what will happen after Karlie Red brushes away her tears and attempts to gather herself to return to that room with Steve as the world tears them apart. Two Black women are attempting to keep their lives together. Relationship problems, legal trouble, and being publicly pulled in all directions make this a pressure cooker that is about to blow up. She inhales deeply, straightens her face like the resilient yet eroding queen she is, and then returns to the room as though she hadn't just exploded in the corridor. The "I'm fine" or "don't ask me anything or I'll scream" walks, you know? That one, indeed. She tries to appear composed as she sits down next to Yandy and attorney Steve, but the strain is thicker than her features, darling. Karlie's voice is trembling as Steve tries to redirect the conversation. "What comes next?" Steve answers coolly, like a man who likes to read legal codes. "No intermediate ground exists." Here comes the tea kettle, steaming hot. There have also been some new inquiries, something about an additional witness coming forward. "I can't confirm it yet, but there's chatter, child," Steve says softly. "Just when you think things can't get any more stressful, a new witness," she says in a panic. "Who? When? Why now?" Yandy tries to calm her down by holding her hand as someone tries to set her up, but it's clear that Yandy's mind is elsewhere because on Instagram, Yandy's own PR catastrophe is raging like a volcano, while Karlie's legal nightmare is unfolding in front of them. Do you recall those 2023 voice recordings? As it happens, these were more than just a couple's past quarrels. An unidentified insider, a popular fictional source, claims that Yandy claimed on the tapes that Mendy wasn't a genuine man and made references to other women being present when he was on parole. Not many. That is damaging to one's reputation, in addition to being personal. Even though this hasn't been confirmed, the internet is still going crazy. Started to take off. TikTokers started acting out the videos in dramatic ways, using wigs and speech filters, and Twitter users became engaged. Imagine being that vocal in 2023 and that mute in Dota 2. Mendy said, "I'm not saying anything." Fake tweet even stated that Yandy Ben knew Mendy wasn't loyal. In other words, she didn't want you to know. Meanwhile, Karlie is inconsolable and starts accusing everyone of leaking in the conference room. She supported him during his incarceration, and now she is able to stand by herself while she breaks down cold-blooded. She wonders, is this the blogs? Are these Jasmine's people? My own daughter? I have dedicated my entire life to developing this fictitious boss girl persona for television. I'm not made for prison though, not capable of that. Dead quiet. This time, Yandy chimes in softly. Girl, we're not. Steve comforts her while attempting to avoid having a heart attack. So far, no one has been identified. This can be an attempt to outmaneuver their own charges or a bluff. However, her voice is tremulous, and it's obvious that she's thinking about something else. The prospect that her entire marriage is trending on Shadroom is probably sending her into a tailspin. The worst moment is when Mendy tells Karlie, you know what hurts the most? Not even the blogs, not the lies. It's him acting like this. It's not happening. It's like I'm fighting this war by myself. After noticing Yandy's weariness. I'm not referring to this. I'm good as long as you're good. I'm sorry, sir. This iPhone screen isn't broken. Your wife's reputation is on fire, and all you're doing is setting the match. A declaration. Just a single sentence stating that the blogs are false, that he supports his wife, and that they are good. Karlie nods by herself. Even though each drama is different, the theme abandonment is the same. Feeling vulnerable and unprotected. And this is where things start to get serious. Steve suggests that she get back in touch with her inner group before the headlines. Do it for her, since he believes it may be hard to control the narrative once the allegations are made public. That's deep. I know. Drama never stops for lunch. So when Yandy gets a notification on her phone, she freezes and looks down. She claims that she wants to have a real face-to-face conversation with Jasmine, mother to daughter, without the use of cameras or producers. She wants Jasmine to understand the extent of her hurt. Yandy flips the phone around and finds a leaked audio clip from the 2023 recordings. What? What is it? Sometimes I feel like I waited for a man who doesn't even want me, Yandy admits, as Karlie observes. God, oh God. Karlie gasps. Steve puts his face in his hands. And Yandy, she just laughs. That terrifying kind of laugh where someone's officially had enough. She looks up and says, let them post the complete thing. This is what I observed and stated, because the drama is currently exploding like a teapot on a broken burner. Let's recap what transpired. Karlie is facing a possible indictment. She is emotionally injured. She feels abandoned by her daughter. She is unsure of who is leaking her. Business and an unnamed witness is lurking in the background. Her husband is still absent. And Yandy is being dragged around every platform with her own voice, verifying her worst fears. The worst part is that the damage hasn't even started yet because, baby, if you think the public will just ignore this, you must be new here. This isn't just drama, though. It's a full-blown reputation problem. And then, like a bus that has run away without brakes. Another twist hits the fan just when you thought the rabbit hole couldn't get any deeper. Rumor has suggested that the entire situation could not even be related to lawsuits or problems on Instagram. Rather, some insiders are conjecturing that this is a part of a strategic takedown. A deliberate act of sabotage that was plotted behind the scenes by competing cast members who are tired of Karlie and Yandy acting as the queenpins of chaos. Let's now discuss the actual puppet masters, the backstage production team. Yes, darling, indeed. They're doing more than just changing lights and handling boom mics. According to a dubious and extremely unsubstantiated leak, the producers orchestrated the entire situation to boost viewership. Tears on cues, expensive courtroom attire, and even a post-hearing walk to the automobile with cameras already running are topics of discussion. And who was it that suddenly appeared at that time? Please, Yandy, this isn't Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. This is Love and Hip Hop. And God bless Yandy. She entered as though to provide assistance. But really, with the characters living out here with weaves and court dates like they're in a Shakespearean play, who needs writers? The chef's kiss is where it gets. It wasn't a walk of shame. Rather, it was a high-speed dignity evacuation when she sprinted out of the building, grabbed her wig down tight, and dodged every paparazzi lens, baby. Fans are now calling for clarification, while Team Yandy claims this is simply the most recent in Karlie's history of bad choices. Team Karlie contends that she is unfairly targeted for being a powerful black woman in entertainment. However, the most startling aspect is that Mona Scott is said to adore it. It gets worse. According to production, she is already trying to turn the video into a special 2-part season finale, a phony investment fraud involving a cosmetic brand that was never legally registered, appears to be one of Karlie's secret allegations. Yes, a beauty empire based on poor credit and expired licenses. Karlie had all the glitz and all the influences. But when it came to the paperwork, she believed an LLC was a new lash style, according to one of her former business partners, who wished to remain nameless. One intern reportedly had to delete 17 tweets, 6 stories, and a TikTok duet of Polly, sobbing in 10 minutes, demonstrating Yandy's PR team's full meltdown. It's DEFCON 5, baby. Damage control. It's not just PR, though. Not to mention the financial consequences. The infamous mansion where Karlie supposedly hosted her shady business brunch full of N-dudes and OnlyFans managers is among the rumored assets that may be frozen. According to one source, it's known as the Fire Festival of Influencer Meets. Naturally, Yandy was present and live-streamed the entire event, pretending she didn't notice the fraud from the kitchen. Fans are now separating this drama from a much bigger issue that involves tax write-offs, phony charitable contributions, and you guessed it, some untraceable Karlie. LHHATL took a cryptocurrency donation to her brand that was associated with a shell corporation in the Cayman Islands. How does a woman who struggles to handle her own relationships end up coordinating wire transfers across international borders? The strangest development so far, though, is that Karlie's ex has suddenly joined the discussion. He alerted everyone about Karlie's secret life in a recent Instagram story, which he later deleted 5 minutes later. He said that Karlie had once used his social security number for Lisa Ben's baby, and the fans too. Social media has gotten totally out of hand. Karlie Red will be the first member of the ELO cast to transition from Love and Hip Hop to Law. 1 user tweeted. She added, "I'm not involved and I dipped like Scooby-Doo in a haunted mansion." And just when you think it's over, guess what? Another person wrote in a meme showing Yandy leaving the courthouse. Mama Red posted on Facebook Live with a head wrap and a vengeance. Karlie's mother entered. Yes, exactly. I quote, "They're always coming for my baby, but y'all forgot Karlie from the islands, boo. Was it a threat or a spiritual right?" It was. Iconic, but no one knows. Yandy, however, is still the main question now is, what will happen next? Will Karlie end up in jail wearing a specially made jumpsuit that was created by a love and passion affair? Mona. Yes, Miss Mona Scott Young is walking in slow motion like Thanos gathering eternity stones because, at the end of the day, Mona is cashing checks and counting views while Karlie is dealing with legal issues and Yandy is being pulled like a shiny jumpsuit in a spin cycle. She is trying to remove her name from every Atlanta gossip blog, but fans aren't forgiving her because her worried friend routine doesn't make sense. For instance, you arrived just as the courthouse doors opened, sis. Hip-hop alumnus. Will Yandy eventually admit that she was always playing PR chess? Or will we all forget this when a new controversy comes up the following week? One thing is clear, no matter what happens, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 13 has officially changed from a nasty reality show to a full-fledged soap opera. And fans are screaming, the streets are watching, and imagine the reunion if Episode 4 looks like this. And I have to ask you, darling, are we really shocked after all that turmoil, treachery, courtroom drama? And social media yelling louder than Karlie's plastic surgeon's phone call? Because when you combine fame and deception, mazines and money, and add a little love and hip-hop Delulu energy, this is the real question now is, will Karlie wind up in jail? Will Yandy recover from the public humiliation she's suffered from? Being used as props in her personal power struggle. And in this legal disaster that is about to consume the entire ATL cause, who else will be exposed next? Let's be honest. Can you imagine what goes on behind the scenes if this is what's happening? On camera. But darling, don't just scroll away. No, I want you all to hit the like button as if it were a debt. To make sure you don't miss any of the soap opera's twists and turns, hit the subscribe button. Are known as celebrity reality TV, and they drop those gorgeous the tea hasn't finished steeping, so stay tuned. Trust whatever you think. Think about the comments that are given below. Is Karlie being manipulative, or is she just misinterpreting? Was Yandy the victim in this situation? Or was he just a lousy puppet master?